Hey y'all, it's Alexis from Ask Alexis here, and I got some game to put y'all up on. Okay, so this came to me a while ago. It was a realization. Actually, my best good homie Kendrick Lamar, whom I don't know, I'm just a fan of. He said this line in the song, and it was, "Corrupt a man's heart with a gift," and that resonated so much in my whole being. And let me tell you why. After I had my spiritual awakening, I started trying to embody a lot more positive emotions like love, kindness, gentleness, generosity, things like that. And let me tell you what I learned about generosity in particular. First, when you lead with generosity, you get to decide how much. You get to decide what you give. You never overextend it because you set your boundaries and your limits on what is too much. And when you offer something and you make the offer, guess what you don't people don't be saying? No. And people don't be like, "Oh, well, some people do, but that's the second part of the lesson." Okay, so people, but generally, people who ain't trying to take advantage of nothing don't be like, "Ooh, let me get some more." They be like, "Oh my gosh, thank you for this." Right? So leading with generosity actually makes you safer than not, in the sense of I decide how much I get to be, I get to give. And frankly, if you got some shit to talk about my generous gift, guess what that means? It means something else about you. That's another post though. But the second thing I learned is to tell you more about people, right? Like, so I hear with my clients, with people on Facebook and reality, a lot of people lead with their fears, right? Oh, so I fear this. I fear being taken advantage of. So I ain't going to just give nobody shit. I fear a bunch of other things. Like I just fear I don't want to be this. Oh no, I want people who do this because, but it's all based on my fears, right? When you lead with generosity, people show you who they are. You get to see who gonna take advantage of you and who's not. You get to see because they the ones that's greedy. Or the next time when they just expecting you to be generous and you not, and they got copper attitude, guess what you get to find out? They that kind of person. Now, that's when your own personal boundary works come in. And this advice is for people who know themselves, right? Like you got to know yourself, be comfortable with yourself, be authentic with yourself, be authentic with others in order to be able to lead with generosity. However, leading with generosity gives me so much more information about people than being all tight and stingy and stuff, right? And having the information about people is where I began to govern my own behavior, right? Like it ain't nobody said just because I was generous this one time I gotta keep being generous. No, I see you shady. I see you keep taking. You a taker, and guess what? I don't want takers, right? Like so, it's nothing wrong with accepting a gift. There's nothing wrong with accepting help. But people who are takers show themselves when you're generous to them, and you still have the power of no. You have the ability to stop speaking to them. You did not waste your time. That is called people discovery, right? Like none of that. You get to see who they are because they show themselves to you because they deem you safe. And from there you make your own decisions. That's how you get to invite more people. Well, that's a way you get to invite more people in your life who are like minded and like you. You start being generous and you'll get to know more about the people around you. You'll find out if they takers. You find out if they, are honestly, I found it to be an easy way to have healthy boundaries because I get to decide. I like my autonomy and my authenticity. I'm going to decide how generous I am. And it also helped me to be able to begin to accept generosity of others without it meaning something about me because I'm no longer judging people based on my fears. So that was my tip, my advice. That's the game I put y'all up on today. Lead with generosity because it lets you know way more about people than being stingy.